All right, guys, we are going to do 3 problems on points only, okay? On how to find the linear equation with points. So your first step is to label x1, y1, x2, and y2. All right, and your first step is to find your slope, which you guys are pretty good at. Again, your formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and you're going to plug it in. So y2 is 6, y1 is 3 over x2 is 5 minus x1 is 2. So 6 minus 3 is going to give you a 3. 5 minus 2 is going to give you a 3 as well, which equals 1. So 1 is my slope. I found my slope already. All right? Great. Step 2. It can be step star, whatever you want to call it. Just know that you need to find your slope and you need to find your y-intercept. So you need the equation y equals mx plus b. I'm going to pick the points 2 and 3 because they're smaller than 5 and 6. And I'm going to write that on the side. That's x, that's y, and y is equal to 3, so y goes there. M, I know, is 1, so I'm going to plug that in, and x is 2. I don't know what b is, and now I'm going to solve from there. So I have 3 is equal to 1 times 2 is 2. Bring down my plus b. Subtract 2 on both sides to solve for b. I'm left with b is equal to the number 1. Conveniently, they're both 1. So I have y equals, again, mx plus b. To solve for a linear equation, I need to plug in my m, which is my slope, and b, my y-intercept. This case, they both happen to be a 1. So I have y is equal to 1x plus 1. That's my linear equation. Okay? So you guys didn't have any interruptions for this one, but you will for this one. All right? I want you to do the same thing that I just did. I'll label it for you, but now I want you to find your slope and y-intercept. All right? If you did it correctly, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, you plugged in 5 minus negative 1, 0 minus 4. Remember, 5 minus negative 1 is like saying 5 plus 1, which is 6 over negative 4. This can be simplified to 3 over negative 2. That's your slope. Okay? Second part, you need to find your y-intercept. To find your y-intercept, you have to pick a point. I'm going to pick 0 and 5 because I don't like negative 1s. All right? I don't like negative numbers. So I have 0 and 5, which is my x and y. I also know my slope is 3 over negative 2. Plugging in everything that I know. I know my y is 5, my m is 3 over negative 2, x is 0, plus b. And I'm solving. Anything times 0 is a beautiful 0. That means b is just alone, because there's no point in having a 0 plus b. And our y-intercept is 5. So when I plug it in, again, you need to plug in for m and b. My m is negative 3 over 2, and my b is positive 5. All right, that's my linear equation. My final one, again, I got x1, y1. I got x2, y2. I want you to solve it. You're finding your slope first. I'm not putting the formula down. Hopefully you know it by now. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. If you did it correctly, that gives you a negative 10. Negative 2 minus negative 3 is like saying negative 2 plus 3, which is 1. Negative 10 over 1 is a beautiful negative 10. That's your slope. All right? Again, you're plugging it into the equation y equals mx plus b. Y, oh crap, I don't like these points. All right, so my slope is negative 10, that's for sure. All of these signs are negative. All of these numbers are negative, except for negative 3 and positive 4. Since that one has at least one positive number, that's going to be easier for me to deal with, only because I'm a stubborn person and I don't like negative numbers. If you pick the other one, that's fine. You'll get the same thing. All right, so I'm plugging in everything that I just picked. Negative 10 times negative 3. 2 negatives gives you a positive 30. Well, it gives you a positive number, and 10 times 3 gives you 30. I have to subtract 30 on both sides. I'm left with b is equal to negative 26. All right, so I plug in everything I know. I have y equals, my slope is negative 10. X, my b is negative 26, so I don't need that plus sign there. Okay, again, remember, you get it from y equals mx plus b. I didn't put a plus sign because then it would look like this, and that looks whack. That's the better version. It's simplified. Okay, so that's what we're working with. Hope that makes sense.